Hi everyone, this is Pam Wilkinson. Thank you for tuning in again today. If you haven't already done so during the week, the previous 2 days there was live video as well. And if you missed it and want to catch up, I have copied or saved the copies, saved the videos and put them on the news feed. And you can visit them there. Just scroll down. So again, thanks for being here for the third installment of Facebook Live. And as I said, if you missed the first two, you can just find them on my Facebook page. Just scroll down until you find them. So today we will be exploring abundance and how to attract what we want in life. We live in an abundant universe, but many of us experience a sense of lack or limitation or scarcity. It often shows up when we are offered an opportunity. We tell ourselves things like, I don't have the money to do that, or I don't have the education, or I don't have the skills, or I'm too old, and maybe even I'm too young. That sense of lack or limitation is a perception that keeps us stuck. While we may acknowledge that we are deserving of what we want in life, we don't feel deserving. There's a big difference between the two, knowing something on one hand and feeling something on the other hand. And feelings are actually the stronger. I'm reminded of a story of a young man who goes down to his spot along the river that he has heard is really great fishing. As he's getting set up to cast his line out there, he notices an older gentleman just a few yards down the bank who seems to be catching lots of fish, but for some reason is throwing some of them back. In fact, he is throwing back the bigger fish and keeping the smaller ones. The young man casts his line out into the current and waits for some action, but he can't help but be distracted by the old man down the bank, who continues to catch lots of fish, but only keeps the small ones. He sees now that every time the old man catches a fish, he reaches down next to him on the bank and picks up a broken off ruler. He measures every fish he catches, and if the fish is bigger than the broken off ruler, he throws it back. Well, the young man can't stand the suspense, so he heads down the bank to talk to the old man. He says to him, "You sure are catching a lot of fish, which is great. Congratulations. But I'm curious about something. Why do you throw back the biggest ones and only keep the small ones? Are the big ones bonier, or do they taste bad after they get to a certain size?" The old man reaches down beside himself on the bank and picks up the broken off ruler and says, "Well, Sonny, you see, I measure each fish I catch with this broken off ruler. And if it's bigger than the ruler, I throw it back." The young man replied that yes, he had seen the old man doing that, but he just can't understand why. The old man looked up at him and made a face and said, "Don't you see? The broken off ruler is the exact same size as my frying pan. So I can't keep any fish larger than that." Well, that's a humorous story. We are all often throwing back the big fish. If it doesn't fit in with what is familiar to us, we reject it. We limit ourselves to what we already know, rather than embrace the opportunity to do something different that might get us closer to a life we would love to live. As I pointed out at the beginning, we live in an abundant universe. Each of us is equally deserving. But if we don't believe that, we won't attract what we want. And even worse, we will turn away the gifts that do come to us, thinking there must be a catch.